Pretoria has once again been thrown into the center of a growing political storm that is shaking South Africa's leadership corridors and sparking endless debates across the country. The controversy that has erupted around Minister Nobuhle Nkabane, the current energy minister, is pulling in powerful figures, political parties, and concerned citizens alike as questions about governance, party loyalty, and the ethical use of state resources take center stage. This story revolves around one highly contentious incident where Minister Nkabane allowed the uMkhonto weSizwe party, widely known as the MK Party and led by former President Jacob Zuma, to take part in an official government event. Although on the surface, the decision might seem minor or administrative, the deeper implications have triggered fierce criticism, deep divisions, and broad speculation about what this could mean for South Africa's political landscape going forward, especially as the country moves closer towards its next round of national elections. To fully understand how we arrived at this explosive moment, it is necessary to briefly reflect on the history that ties these actors together. The MK Party is not just any ordinary political formation, it is a relatively recent creation, formed by breakaway members of the African National Congress, commonly called the ANC, fronted by former President Jacob Zuma. The MK Party was designed as a response to growing dissatisfaction and internal conflicts within the ANC, with many of its members believing that the ruling party had strayed from its original mission and failed to deliver on its promises to ordinary South Africans. Since its inception, the MK Party has positioned itself as a direct rival to the ANC, particularly attracting those disillusioned with the current leadership of President Cyril Ramaphosa and the broader ANC leadership structure. Against this backdrop, the relationship between the ANC and MK Party has been strained, filled with accusations, legal battles, political name-calling, and public confrontations that have kept both groups locked in an intense rivalry. When Minister Nobuhle Nkabane allowed the MK Party to be included in a state event that was supposed to be apolitical and meant for the benefit of all citizens, it struck a nerve within both the ANC and the general public. The event in question was funded by taxpayer money and was intended to remain neutral, providing a platform free from any political influence, regardless of party affiliation. By giving space to the MK Party at such a function, Minister Nkabane crossed what many considered to be a hard constitutional and ethical line, the clear separation between party politics and government responsibilities. Her actions have triggered questions about her loyalty to the ANC, with senior party officials and political analysts pointing out that it not only undermines the ANC's standing but also paints an image of deep divisions and internal disarray within the ruling party. Inside the ANC itself, frustration and discontent have escalated quickly. Several high-ranking members are now openly calling for Minister Nkabane to give a full explanation to the party's top leadership. The criticism isn't just focused on the presence of MK Party members at the event but also on the signal this sends to voters and fellow ANC members. Allowing a rival political group, especially one fronted by a figure like Jacob Zuma, who carries both significant support and serious controversy, to share a state platform gives the appearance of weakness, division, or at the very least poor judgment from a sitting minister. While some insiders defending Nkabane argue that her intention was purely to foster inclusivity and dialogue across different sectors of society, critics argue that inclusivity should never compromise neutrality, especially in official government functions. Adding more fuel to this controversy is the fact that the MK Party itself has been locked in escalating confrontations with the ANC since its creation. Both groups have sparred on multiple occasions, both publicly and behind closed doors. Analysts now warn that this latest event could further aggravate tensions and fracture voter support, especially in key battleground provinces where both parties are hoping to gain ground. Minister Nkabane's silence on the matter has only made things worse. Her office has acknowledged the backlash but has released nothing more than a vague statement promising to address the issue at an appropriate time. For many observers, this cautious approach is raising suspicion about whether she acted independently or with some level of internal ANC backing. Political commentators have quickly pointed out that the controversy highlights a much bigger and long-standing issue in South African governance, the blurry and often dangerously thin line between party politics and state responsibilities. The South African Constitution mandates ministers and other public servants to act impartially and to serve all citizens equally, regardless of political affiliation. When politicians allow party interests to shape or influence state activities, public trust is eroded and the integrity of the democratic system is put at risk. The involvement of political parties in government functions opens doors to misuse of resources, biased decision-making, and an uneven political playing field. Civil society groups and watchdog organizations have already stepped in, calling for urgent reforms and clearer guidelines to prevent similar incidents from happening again. They want the presidency and parliament to enforce strict rules that explicitly block political parties from having influence or visibility at official state events. These organizations argue that only by drawing a hard and fast line between government and political organizations can the country safeguard its democratic principles and ensure fair governance for all its people. Meanwhile, Minister Nkabane remains under immense pressure to either clarify her decision, issue an apology to ease rising tensions, or stay silent and risk deepening the backlash. Whatever choice she makes, the damage to her political credibility and standing within the ANC might already be done. Analysts are also raising concerns about how the ANC itself will respond. Will the party discipline Nkabane publicly to show voters it still stands for constitutional principles and internal unity? Or will they allow the controversy to fade away quietly in the hopes that it doesn't hurt their election prospects? What is clear, though, is that this incident has reignited discussions about the need for political reform and stricter ethical standards in South Africa's governance landscape. With elections looming, every misstep is magnified, and voters are watching closely to see which leaders uphold their responsibilities and which ones bend the rules for political convenience. If you made it this far, thank you for staying with us through this detailed breakdown. What do you think about Minister Nobuhle Nkabane's decision to allow the MK Party to participate in a state event? Do you believe her actions were justified in the name of inclusivity, or do you think she crossed a line that should not be crossed? Let us know what you think in the comments section below. Don't forget to subscribe to the Political Spectrum for more in-depth analysis and updates on South African politics. Your thoughts and engagement help us continue bringing you guys these deep dives into important issues shaping the nation. Stay tuned for more and see you in the next video.